Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. And my friends, this is the last time I will sit in front of this backdrop and say those words to you. After 3.5 years and 500 videos, it's all over. There will be no more videos. From this particular room, I'm moving again. Finally, Mrs. Joma and I have bought a house together. If you live in Australia, you know that that is almost impossible these days, especially in Sydney. House prices are insane, and indeed we have mortgaged ourselves up to our nether regions, let's put it that way. And we found a bank crazy enough to give us a 30-year mortgage. Look at me, 30 years, I'll be lucky to make it 30 years. Never mind to still be working in 30 years. I've told Mrs. I'll pay the first half, she's paying the second half. Now, it's in a different part of Sydney, much further out from the city centre than we're currently living. Isn't that always the way? But it's a really nice spot, somewhere a bit less hectic, that still has access to the best bits of Sydney, but without having some of the drawbacks of big city living. And the best bit is, I get my own YouTube studio outside of the house. That is going to be a massive boost for me and for the rest of the family. It will keep watch chaos in one spot rather than spreading it across an entire house. I have been operating variously in a corner of the living room, in a spare bedroom, or even in the kitchen since I started this channel back in 2016. Indeed, you may remember this backdrop from the very earliest videos. This was actually my face reveal video from June 2017 when I still had some colour in my hair. That was in a house that I shared with my best friend in Neutral Bay in Sydney. I then moved in with the future Mrs. Joma into her place and I took over her basement. That's where these videos were filmed. I have been taking over her space and making a mess of it ever since. We then moved together into a new place in Alexandria and I initially filmed in the living room with the top-down stuff being shot in the kitchen, before eventually taking over the second bedroom and squeezing my wife and her desk into the living room. Sorry, dear. And finally, in September 2020, we moved into this place in Summerhill. I dumped the old IKEA tubes for this much more attractive bookshelf. We've had a great 3 years or so here, and I think when I finally sorted out my lighting and bought some plastic plants that I can't kill, this is by far the nicest backdrop that I've had for the channel so far. So far. Now, we get the keys on January the 19th, we move on January the 20th, and I have recorded 3 extra videos for that week already. So you've still got 3 more chances to see this backdrop before everything changes. I'd love to hear your thoughts. The room I'm moving into is actually a very similar size and shape to this one. So the temptation will therefore be just to transfer everything over and do exactly the same thing. But I really don't want to do that. You've got to keep moving forward, as you've seen from the last 5 or 6 different intros there. It's always nice to get a bit of a shot in the arm, a bit of a boost from something new, something different, and I have a fantastic opportunity right now to create a new space that works for me and ultimately works for the channel and therefore for you. So do I do a TGV or a Russell the Mad Watch Collector and cover my backdrop in tiny action figures, He-Man, Star Wars, etc, etc? Or do I do a Teddy, get a green screen and make it look like I'm coming to you from the top floor of a New York skyscraper? So thank you as always for watching so regularly through every single stage of the channel's evolution so far. As I said, I'm hoping that more space equals more organisation, equals more time, equals better content in the future. And for God's sake, please keep watching because I need those Google ad dollars to pay the mortgage. All right, I'm going to pack this lot into boxes. Have a great rest of your week and I will see you from somewhere else in a few days' time.